Oh, wait, no longer greatness has arrived. Welcome to episode 298, I think, of The Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. I'm your host, Joseph, aka Mr. Badbit, and it is here where me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest, the greatest in all things PlayStation. Of course, this week, we'll be chatting about Final Fantasy XVI being at the Game Awards, Ragnarok sold like the world was ending, Witcher 3 is getting a next-gen update details, Kyle is preparing to go through trophy withdrawal, and Sony and Xbox are sister wives to Call of Duty now, and so much more. But with all that said, with all that out of the way, the greatest co-host, whoever is, whoever will be, Mr. Kyle Stevenson, how are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty okay. I'm a little tired.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen this thing, Joe, of people using this AI app to create like these really cool profile pictures of themselves.
Oh yeah, I don't like that at all, so I'm not participating.
I did it, and let me tell you how messed up it is.
Yeah.
That I look at those, I'm like, man, that guy in that picture is one good-looking dude. Why am I not like that in real life?
No, you're a beautiful son of a gun.
I don't know. But like, I have some really dope pictures that I can't wait to put up.
No,
it's like incredible.
I don't know where everybody's going to get these AI generated pictures, but like, we really do need to stop. We're gonna get like Skynet to become self-aware.
Are you telling me? Hold on, it's not gonna work.
I don't know. There's static now. See, look at the AI is invading the show.
Oh.
See, look at Kyle. Robots are invading the show now. We have to go deal with that type of malware. I just don't like it.
Ultron is here.
Exactly. It's too close. The AI are getting too good. It's kind of like the conversation we had with the self-driving cars last week's episode.
Yes.
I'm getting uncomfortable that computers are now like smarter than me. And there's going to be a time I can't tell them what to do.
Spoiler alert, Joe. They've always been smarter than you. They've always been smarter than me. No one's smarter than a computer.
Like, I'm going to ask Siri, and usually I'm like, Siri, shut up. And like one day Siri's going to be like, make me. I'm like, uh-oh.
Let me tell you, I was watching a YouTube video last night on my TV, and out of nowhere, my freaking Alexa Echo or whatever it is picks up on something and just starts talking about what was going on in the YouTube video. I didn't say anything, Alexa. Shut up. What are you doing?
I'm very like AI. No, I'll do it myself. Thank you very much.
You're the Thanos.
I won't Siri it. Yeah.
You're the Thanos. Instead of like getting a gauntlet, you're just going around and unplugging things.
Exactly.
I'll do it myself. Hitting the breakers, turning it off. Yeah.
Yep. Turning off all the smart speakers in the house, smart lights, unscrewing them. Like, we're doing it the old-fashioned way. But Kyle, listen.
Even the clap on, clap off thing back in the 80s.
It's a bridge too far, and we still have those. I think,
do you really? I've never ever experienced that in real life ever.
Doesn't work. But we had them at one point.
That's a bummer.
So Kyle, listen, before we talk about all the PlayStation news, which there is actually quite a bit this week, and just to let everybody know, a little bit of housekeeping, this is the last news show of the year, which is pretty nuts. Next week, we're going to be covering our reactions to the Game Awards. So next week's episode will premiere on Friday instead of Thursday like we usually do. And we'll be recording it live with you over at twitch.tv/PS Trophy Room. So don't miss out. Link down in the description. Again, that episode will be late, but on purpose. But then the weeks afterwards, we're going to do our, PlayStation Wrapped episode, our highlight reel, as it were, our top PlayStation 5 games so far. And then the next episode after that is our most anticipated games for 2023. And then we'll come back, and I bet there's going to be a bevy of news to talk about in January. And then we're going to have our Trophy Room Awards, which is official date is July, January 13th. Which is technically our anniversary. The show started January 10th. Yeah, 2018. So look at us, coming along.
It's a good thing oh no.
What?
Should we rethink that date because it's Friday the 13th?
Nah, nothing's ever truly gone wrong on Friday the 13th.
I don't know. I've seen many movies of a Jason Voorhees.
I think we're gonna be fine.
All right. Okay.
I die that day. So
no, stop it.
But before we get into all the PlayStation news and we got through all the housekeeping, there is some PlayStation/video game news that I'm super excited about. Yesterday, as we're recording, yesterday and today, we got news of video game adaptations, updates on the Last of Us show. So let's first talk Last of Us. We got character posters of Ellie, Bella Ramsey's
Bella Ramsey.
Bella Ramsey. Her Ellie, Pedro Pascal as Joel. We saw Bill and who else did we see? Oh my goodness.
I'm pulling them up because I would have missed it. We see Riley. We see Marlene.
We see a whole bunch of them.
Frank, Sarah, Bill, with Sam, Henry, Tess, Tommy.
Yeah. The whole cast. Really.
Seriously, it's
How's
pretty
it looking?
Impressive. Oh
How's
my god, these posters are incredible.
Yeah.
It's a shocker that the internet has something to say about them.
Yeah.
I think they all look perfect.
Yes.
I think they look exactly what they would look like if this was a real world thing.
Yep.
I'm especially excited not only for Nick Offerman as Bill.
Yep.
Because I think he's gonna really, really do a good job.
He's such a stellar
Bill.
actor, man. He's such a stellar actor. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Anna Torv.
Oh yeah.
And to see her as Tess. Well, I know her from Fringe.
Okay.
I love Fringe. And of course, Pedro is Joel. And
oh my god, yes.
God, this gives me goosebumps in the fact that it is a little over a month away.
Yep.
Is exciting.
Yep. Do you think? Actually, you know what? I'll save that for the Game Awards portion of the show.
Ooh. Okay.
Because honestly, I'm just loving. It looks like The Last of Us, and I know it's like what a bar to set, but we all know video game adaptations. We're going to talk about the Uncharted one in a few. We've
all seen the Jake Gyllenhaal Prince of Persia. Come on.
Thank God I haven't. But for me, it looks like it has the energy that the games gave off. And my brother actually sent me the posters. He is so in now that he's beaten The Last of Us Part 1 and almost through to 2. And his actually thoughts was, he's just like, I really do hope they deviate a bit. He's like, don't tell me the same exact story, but tell me something similar. Give me more background on all these characters. And
it seems like they do, because we're getting Frank.
Yeah.
Frank, spoilers for the Last of Us game. It's just some guy hanging in a house because he kills himself.
Yeah.
And he's Bill's former lover.
Yeah. So to me, we're going to get all the background on all these characters. Yeah. And most of all, we're going to get more background on Ellie and her parents, which we all know it's Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker.
And her parents. 1000%.
Come on. That's happening.
If it's not, I'm going to be really sad.
Yeah, that is such a
the home run.
Yeah, and you just whiffed it. But honestly, the one that gets me the most excited is Bella Ramsey, because to me she looks like Ellie, man. This is, and y'all know Ellie is one of my favorite, fictional characters in just 1000%. Any medium. So to me, I'm super hyped. And then to go off on that.
Well, and then pairing that with the Riley poster with her in front of the carousel.
Yes.
And knowing that whole scene and me not realizing we were going to get left behind in the show. I'm very, very, very excited for every hour episode. It's going to be exciting. And one of our Patreon goals, we're going to do a live react. I'm pretty sure to all these episodes, which is going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Can't wait. That's it too. When it comes to spoiler casts, I want to know what the audience thinks on this. Would you guys like them? Of course, we're going to do it for patrons first, but would you like them to come out on a later date for everyone else? For example, would you like to have the God of War spoiler cast on the main feed? Let me know in the comments in our Discord, link down below. I'd really like the input on that, because I never want to over clutter a feed with a whole bunch of shows that aren't the main show. So please let me know in the comments. But yeah, Last of Us show looks excellent. I can't wait. And it's awesome seeing all these non-gamers in my household, my friend group, getting excited, not just for me, but getting excited because it legitimately looks good. So hyped. That said, let's go into the Nintendo Nook for just a few minutes.
Let's dip our toes.
Yep.
Let's grab our Labos.
Yep.
And join together.
Enter the cardboard fort that you paid $90 for.
Hit the passcode on the piano.
Boop, boop,
the
boop,
cardboard boop. Keys to open up the gates.
We're here.
We're here.
And guess what? It barely functions, but we still paid full price. Okay. Kyle, welcome to the Nintendo Nook, where a delayed game is delayed, but a game that comes out broken will sell 10 million copies in 3 days. Whatever that quote sounds like. The Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah.
We saw it.
Mm-hmm.
You just saw it. Your reactions are raw, my friend.
Yeah.
I've seen this thing like countless times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, you're not a Mario fan. Right?
As I've gotten older, I've been less and less a Mario fan, but those were the games I grew up on.
Okay. So those are the games I grew up on, and I've become more and more, as you can tell, jaded with Nintendo over time.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, man, this looks like this is gonna be the best video game adapted thing out there. Like, as much as I love The Last of Us, don't get me wrong, can't wait for it. This gave me the serotonin I desperately needed.
Mm-hmm.
This looks fantastic. I don't know what else to say other than this looks like it captures, the energy of what Mario is,
mm-hmm.
while not being cringy or gimmicky with it. Like,
and giving nods to all the things Mario has done.
Yeah.
Like, it opens up with the original Donkey Kong game.
Yeah.
And that's, I'm pretty sure that's what we're looking at. And like, him training is him doing these levels that we've played. Like, that's so cool. And it's such a genius way to, and of course, Rainbow Road at the end. Come on.
Dude, the overworld is the war room table. It's like, oh my God, these guys, these people, they get it.
They get it.
We're entering the realm now of, we're having people that have been inundated with video games coming into these roles and understanding the properties.
Yeah.
We're slowly getting there.
Not just some rich old person out of touch be like, oh, that thing made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Let's do an adaptation of it. But
or a roller coaster, which we'll talk about soon. Like, it's
people who have a passion for it and a love for it. They're doing it.
And Nintendo working so closely with Universal, you could tell that both of these titans want to, not to say like take on Disney, but they want that energy. And I feel like if anybody can, it's Nintendo, man, because I definitely believe that Mario is the new Mickey Mouse. And say what you will about Chris Pratt. I'm kind of tired of like let's just hate Chris Pratt because he's in everything, but he's not really energy. He sounds good, and his Wahoo sounds good. So I'm let's go about it. I don't know.
I see what you did there. I think if this does extremely well, which it does, it will. I mean, come on.
Dude, I'm bullish. I think this thing does $1 billion at the box office.
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
I think this paves the way for so many other Nintendo properties to become animated movies.
Oh, yeah.
And that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
I want to see Link as like a grunge metal band. He's just hooting and hollering into the mic.
Can you imagine this does so well? I don't think it would be an animated movie. But give me like a live action Metroid.
Yes.
With Samus.
Brie Larson says she wants to do it. Brie Larson said she would.
That'd be cool. I'd be
Brie
down
Larson,
for that.
just like Samus, could step on me. So
agreed.
Let's collide. That wasn't so wholesome. We're in the Nook. I got to remember that. All right, let's get out of the Nintendo Nook. Let's get out. Let's remember that Pokemon Scarlet or Violet
Fold up your Labo.
That's
Save
right.
it for the next time.
Yeah, put it in the closet where it's collect dust because it was never a good idea. Okay, we're back in the trophy room. Whew, smells nice in here because there was a musk in that Labo. I think there was mold in there. That said, before we get into all the PlayStation news, I want to thank our patrons over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. It's like what we say each and every week. If we ever got you through a long car ride, a tough day at work, whatever your situation may be, it really does help us out if you toss $1 our way over at patreon.com/PS PS Trophy Room. We are currently doing the Trophy Room Awards, where we celebrate the developers, the creators that make these games possible in the year of our Lord, that is 2022. And we're making the biggest show possible, where we don't have just one guest coming in, two guests coming in. We have over a dozen guests coming in, sharing their love of video games this year, and it's all possible because of your patronage over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. And if you are a gold patron and above, you get cool little knickknacks for supporting us and shout outs on the award show. And if you're a platinum member, you literally get your own personal shout out. You get to come on the show and talk about your game of the year. All that and more over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. I want to thank our newest members, Bowser at the Bronze Plus tier, and Cowboy Danger D at the Gold tier. I want to thank our Platinum producers, Todd Burowitz and Toxic. I want to thank our Gold members, N. Johnson, Too Soon, Gavin Gottfried, Jose Jimenez, Jedi Master N, Metal Kirby, Stephen Flesh, Doth, Simon the Pie Man, Chaotic Monkey, Enigma, Millennial Falcon Gaming, Sith Lord 92, Strubles and Bits, and the Green Gorilla Gamer. I want to thank our Silver Plus members, Awesome Dave, Hide Indoors, and Nakachaka, Marcus O'Neill, JB the Purple Monkey, Jadis Von Metal, Tim Ulf, Justin Rodriguez, Cypher Primus, Captain Logan, Brenton Zachary, K Grim, Rick Arrington, Dewane Raksha, The Good Sir, Foolish Fuji, Kevin Mitchell, Kevin Diaz, Elo 2032, Bubble Boy N7, Jesse Garcia, Hambone, The Aztec King, Stone Cold, E.T., Astronaut Jr., not to be mistaken with Astronaut Senior, and Maximum Carnage. Katie Stubbs, Eb9 Prime, Sean McKenzie, Final Fan XZ, and Drozo. And I know I mispronounced your name. Don't worry. You'll tell me that later. We'll workshop it. We'll workshop it. Vadante Tatted, also known as Cowboy Danger D, Lamb Chop 93, and Justin Rodriguez. And Ken, it's because of your support over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room that we keep the lights on. We sound so good, look so great. It's because of your patronage. So thank you all so much. And now, Kyle, it is finally time to square up the news for the last time in 2022.
Oh, that's kind of scary. It's weird. 2023 is right around the corner.
You're kind of freaking me out right now.
Oh, existential vibes from here on out.
People don't like when I say that word, Kyle.
Which one?
Existential.
Why?
It's a long story. It's an inside joke. Take it away, sir.
Now I'm just going to force you to say it a whole bunch.
Oh, don't worry. I will later.
Nick Tan from PS Lifestyle writes, Final Fantasy 16 director will appear at the Game Awards for quote-unquote special presentation. The Final Fantasy 16 director and producer Naoki Yoshida, otherwise known as Yoshi P, will make an appearance at Geoff Keighley's The Game Awards 2022 for a quote very special live presentation, unquote. This has been confirmed by a tweet on the official The Game Awards account, which only ramps up the anticipation for the next main Final Fantasy entry. In fact, Final Fantasy 16 is currently nominated in the show's most anticipated game category, alongside Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. It's unknown when Naoki Yoshida has in store for the Game Awards 2022, but we reported earlier today that the release date for the game is expected to be announced as soon as early December. Given that the Game Awards will air on December 8th, starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, that would seem to be the perfect time to reveal it. Currently, the game has a vague release window of summer 2023, so an exact release date would be welcome.
Yeah, apparently also through some of the leaks and rumors. First off, it's been rated in several countries, I think South Korea, and it may be up for pre-order sooner rather than later. So, Kyle.
I bet you that's what that presentation is. We're going to get a collector's edition or something shown off in the Game Awards.
So do you think we're going to get one last cool trailer, or do we think we're going to get just the collector edition stuff?
No, I think we'll get a trailer and we'll get everything.
Okay.
Maybe not during the show, but like on Twitter after that trailer, it'd be like, "Hey, here's the collector's edition." Gotcha. Right? Like I'm trying to imagine the Firefly edition for Last of Us Part 1. Like we saw that trailer at Summer Game Fest, and then was immediately afterwards on social we got the Firefly edition announcement.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe something similar with this, where we get the date. We're getting a date at the show.
Okay, now here's my next question. That date's gonna get pushed, right?
No,
it already
got pushed.
Come on, this is Final Fantasy. This is Square Enix.
I think they've learned their lessons from 15.
I hope they have.
I honestly could see this game coming out May-ish.
Oh, you think that soon?
Yeah.
Okay, I could see. I mean, I think the latest I could see it would be like June, maybe August, because I'm still thinking Spider-Man's 2023.
Oh yeah,
I
think that's probably September.
Exactly,
same time frame as the first one.
So I'm either thinking it's actually in the summer, maybe late May, early June, or maybe Sony gets a little crazy again and puts it in November. But I don't know. But yeah, I definitely.
Are you excited to see more of this game though?
I am, because I think Final Fantasy VII Remake did a good job of getting me in the door of being interested in Final Fantasy. It's not like our friend Kevin Diaz, who he played Remake and he was just so captured by it that he went back and beat it on like the PlayStation 1 and all that. Like, I'm into it. I'm excited for it, but like this is where my excitement is. I'm excited for it. There you go.
Fair.
Yeah, but like I'm excited to see, because this would be the first Final Fantasy for me that I'm playing in like a medieval fantasy setting, which is typically what I enjoy more in video games anyway. So I'm excited, and I'm assuming you are too.
I'm excited, although I am not overly thrilled with like what we've seen with the I forgot what they call it in this game, like the summon battles.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of that so far. They could easily change my mind, but I'm excited for another mainline Final Fantasy game.
I don't like how one of the main characters' name is Clyde.
You don't like Clyde?
Can't take it seriously, no.
Are you thinking of like South Park Clyde? Is that why?
No, I'm thinking of Clyde Bigsby from Modern Family. That's a Modern Family deep cut.
Oh my god, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that a lot. I love Modern Family. It's such a good show.
Dude, it really was. I feel like it was like the last really great like network like
it was
sitcom.
The last absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, Modern Family aside and Final Fantasy 16 aside, this is awesome. We're gonna get a cool announcement, it seems like, at least. But I got a question for you, Kyle. Last week we talked about the predictions of who's gonna win.
Yeah.
What are your predictions? Because they did a poll of like, what are you most excited for, the awards or the ads? And they're like, the ads.
1,000%.
Like, overwhelmingly so.
Yeah.
So three predictions off the top of your head. We'll each take turns here. Okay. What do you think we're going to see? And just to make it switch it up a little bit, what do you don't think we're gonna see?
Ooh,
because I'll start off right here, right now.
I
don't think you see anything big out of PlayStation or Microsoft.
Oh,
I think this is gonna be a lot of, if it is PlayStation related, it's gonna be like tangentially related. Like I think Final Fantasy 16 is a great example of like, here's something out of our third-party partnerships.
So like when we first saw Godfall at Game Awards, something similar.
That's exactly the vibes we're going to get from PlayStation.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I personally think we are going to see Spider-Man there. I think.
What makes you think that?
Because we saw Last of Us and Summer Game Fest, where PlayStation has showed up to Geoff's shows and given a pretty substantial thing. Even Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart had some really good stuff at Summer Game Fest the year prior. And the fact that we haven't seen a showcase from them in what feels like 80 years. I feel like what was his name? Josh Hartnett in 40 Days and 40 Nights. I'm thirsting for some PlayStation showcase.
Yeah.
So I think they do show something other than Spider-Man and obviously other than Final Fantasy. What that is, don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's one of the shooters. Maybe it's the Firewalk Studios game or maybe Haven, whatever Haven is. I don't know.
So I think if this will go into my second prediction, if we see PlayStation, its presence, we're not going to, again, tangentially involved stuff, sure, but we're not going to see, like, I don't think we see Spider-Man. I do think if we see them there, it's more like second party stuff. You're right, like the Havens and Firewalk. But I'm thinking more of, you're going to see more of a push of PlayStation VR 2. Because I feel like with this whole ABK stuff happening, neither of them want to show their big guns, because that may or may not affect what happens in the regulatory process. As stupid as that sounds for us.
It's very dumb.
It's so dumb. But we've seen that this process is idiotic. So I think that's probably a safe bet that we'd see more of that hardware, and possibly, and I'll even just tag this on with it, possibly that's where we see Half-Life Alyx come to PSVR 2.
I did also have that thought.
Yeah.
Of some VR 2 big game there, and I think why not have Half-Life Alyx be the thing?
Absolutely.
Oh, no bigger stage.
No, absolutely.
Right? To announce that. So yeah, I do think we get a little VR stuff, but the other PlayStation thing I think could happen, and I have a couple that are not PlayStation related. I think we're gonna see Horizon Forbidden West DLC.
Oh,
I think I recorded the final Road to Ragnarok episode with Kevin Diaz last night.
PlayStation Source.
And yep, fantastic. He mentioned that there were rumors going around about the DLC and that it was going to be called Burning Sands.
Okay.
Which is a nice little play on Frozen Wilds. And I believe the voice actor for of Silence teased that he was doing more work. Voiceover work for Horizon. So I think Frozen Wilds also was that was announced at E3.
Yeah,
the year it
came out.
But
this is a DLC, so I could see that. Yeah,
and so I think something maybe they show Call of the Mountain on the big stage for VR and be like, hey, we also have something for non-VR people for Horizon Forbidden West. Here's new DLC.
Okay, I actually I think that is a big enough announcement that I could see it warrant its place there, and maybe not
ruin that whole like what you said. Yeah, afraid of showing off their big guns kind of thing, because it's already out.
Yeah, it's already out, and it gives people who already like maybe bought the bundles, who have played that game, going, all right, maybe I'll go out there and buy the DLC. So there's a nice synergy to it.
Speaking of which, I'm back in Horizon. God, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I saw the one Vista. I'm like, damn, that world is so gorgeous. So gorgeous.
Hot take: if that doesn't win art direction, I'm gonna be a little upset.
Oh yeah,
I think that game deserves that award.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Who am I to say that Elden Ring's gonna probably take that and deserve it?
Yeah.
All right. Last prediction from me. What are we gonna get at the PlayStation? Sorry, PlayStation. Jesus.
The PlayStation Game Awards.
The PlayStation Game Awards, sponsored by Geoff Keighley. Have you seen those tweets? God, it makes me hate society. I think my last prediction for the Game Awards is I want to see Jedi Fallen Order, and I want to see Survivor, and I want to see that release date. I think that's one that's been floating around, but that genuinely has me excited because Fallen Order is so beloved in the Star Wars fandom, and coming off the high that is Andor to Survivor, I think would get fans like myself who are Star Wars stans even more just excited. So I think we'll get that for sure.
Yeah, you took one of mine. I definitely think we're gonna see that. I also think we're gonna see some really cool new Suicide Squad stuff.
Oh, okay.
Or at least I want it. I want to see more of that game.
Fair enough.
But also, I think we're gonna see a little bit more of that Wonder Woman game.
Wonder Woman.
By Monolith.
I don't know why I did that, guys. I apologize to the guy that gave me that 2-star review because of the voices. I get it now.
It's okay.
It's a tick. I can't.
Wonder Woman. Now it's me doing it. So go ahead, give him 2 stars. Monolith, right? Is doing Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
That was unveiled last Game Awards, so I think seeing a little bit more would be kind of cool.
Okay.
I do think we're gonna see more. What's the word I'm looking for? Established IP
at this award show.
Synergistic games where they're both movies. Transmedia. There we go. Of like there are movies, TV shows, also get games tied. So like maybe we see the Avatar game.
Okay.
Maybe we see Wonder Woman. Maybe we see Indiana Jones game from Machine Games.
Right.
Like, these more established things because it's the big show.
Yeah.
Something like along those lines.
No doubt. I mean, here's the ultimate prediction: Last of Us HBO show showed off.
Oh yeah, the trailer. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, hey, here's the award winner for best adaptation, which is a category now. Oh, and by the way, you hear about this adaptation coming out next month, Last of Us HBO show. Here's the trailer.
Exactly. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. Also, I'm just really looking forward to seeing the Hosier performance. Did you see that he's performing that song?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Ooh-wee. Now, Maximum Carnage writes in, just like you can too, if you head on over to our Discord server or follow us at PS Trophy Room, where each and every Wednesday we ask right in the beginning of the day what your questions are, and you can submit them there. So Maximum Carnage writes, "Greetings, Slinger and Banger. Joe, I'll make you a deal. I'll stop using this intro if y'all get my guy Lord Cognito back as a special guest. Now, can we talk about Square Enix for a second? First off, I'll stop you right there. Lord Cog will be in our award show. There you go. He's there. Don't worry.
Yeah. Who's the slanger? Who's the banger?
Definitely me. I'm the slanger. You're the B-word.
I'm the banger? All right.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, big slanger.
Come on,
slanging.
say it.
This year,
big banger banging.
I hate you. Why are you the way you are? This year, they've been putting out...
I am?
Me, that's who. They've been putting out games faster than a 12-year-old me inputting the decreased wanted level cheat in GTA San Andreas. Goddamn, I felt that in my soul.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Are they going all in with Final Fantasy 16 and Rebirth next year with a touch of Forspoken? But where do they go after that? The Pixel remasters have still yet been released on consoles, and the 13 trilogy is pretty much left Game Pass, with them now being stranded back on PS3 and 360 consoles. Are they still trying to look sexy, giving the eye to Jim Ryan from across the bar? I'm not all for the acquisition talk, but I'd rather see them in Jim's arms than seeing Tencent trying to chat them up and buy them a drink. Square Enix is such an enigma, so what's their game plan? I need to know for the love of Tifa's big personalities.
Maximum Carnage.
I like that one. Maximum Carnage. Award goes to you. Smother me, Tifa. So, Kyle, the thirst aside.
Yeah.
What do you think here? What is Square Enix is such an enigma, man.
They really are. They go from doing nothing to just putting everything out at once.
Right. With no, let me cut through the bullshit here. With no really question of quality control. Because look, Valkyrie Elysium met with underwhelming critical and commercial acclaim. Same with Diofield Chronicles, which I hope. I'm going to still try out for sure because I love a good strategy game.
Harvestella also came out, right?
Right. Harvestella came out in middling, but Ogre Tactics, or Tactics Ogre rather, came out and it's solid. It's a solid remake, solid remaster, only a few notches below its original score. And, Crisis Core, it seems like there's a big push to it, but even when you take a look at that gameplay, oh yeah, it's a remaster, right? It is still a PSP game. So I not to say that I'm worried about these games' quality, because with PlayStation so heavily backing and producing these titles, and with I think the pedigree of Final Fantasy VII Remake, these games are going to be stellar. But I don't think Final Fantasy VII Remake, Rebirth, whatever, comes out next year. Winter is that's 2 Final Fantasies in 1 year is astonishing. I don't know if it's never been done before, but I don't think it makes sense when you're trying to sell a game. When you're selling a game, you got to think of the tail of that game, right? You're thinking of day 1, day 2, day 3, month 3, month 4, month 5, year 1, year 2, and you have strategies. I wouldn't be surprised a year or two after, Final Fantasy 16 comes out, you see that on PlayStation Plus or Game Pass. So, these companies have those kind of things in their mind when they set up the pipeline for these games.
Yeah, we're a long ways away from getting a Final Fantasy every year.
Yeah.
back like on the original PlayStation.
So I think Final Fantasy 16, you don't want to. If I'm an executive, I am concerned that Rebirth would eat into the sales of 16. Maybe that's irrational, but remember, I'm a suit and a tie, and so I'm thinking, well, I could just put that out next year. It'll look good on that quarter next year to make me look good. Mm-hmm. So that's probably why I would want to push that game out a little bit. So yeah, I don't think Rebirth next year. Though they say it, I have my doubts.
I also think it's probably closer to where the first remake came out, around that March 2024 area. I do think with FF16 and Forspoken next year, those are two big titles. Well, say what you will about Forspoken, they're going in on Forspoken.
Sure.
Like it's going to be one of the bigger games early next year.
Yep.
End of January, correct?
Yep, January 27th.
27th.
Yep.
So they have, I mean, these games are going to do great. Where do they go after that? You make a great point. Why aren't the pixel remasters on consoles? That bums me out big time. The 13 trilogy, say what you will about the two sequels, I really dig the first game, the original 13, and I hope it gets some love and be brought to current consoles. I'll say it again, Star Ocean Second Story is just there for them. Just release it. It's fine. But they also have they have Kingdom Hearts, right? They could pull something out of the hat with that one. And we make jokes about it, but tell me in which way that NVIDIA leak has it been wrong? And on that leak was Final Fantasy IX Remake.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that were on that have come to fruition.
Yeah. Square Enix has a lot in their repertoire that I think you're right, passively kind of ignore. And a lot of IP that do sell incredibly well that we also passively ignore because they've been passively ignoring it themselves for the past few years, it seems. So yeah, I think that's where Square Enix goes. When it comes to the acquisition talk, though, I do think, Square Enix kind of signaled it. I think they're going to be looking for outside partners, both Nintendo, PlayStation, Tencent, even Microsoft will come in there and scoop some studios up so that they don't have to take the risk with these hundreds of millions of dollars games. So all roads lead to Square Enix for sure when it comes to the acquisition season everybody talks about, but it's multiple roads. It's more like a network.
Yeah.
That said, Kyle, it is time for the next story on the list, good sir.
Ooh, George Yang from IGN writes, God of War Ragnarok is the fastest selling first-party game in PlayStation history. Sony has revealed that God of War Ragnarok is the fastest-selling first-party game launch in PlayStation history. Revealed in a tweet below, 5.1 million copies of God of War Ragnarok were sold during its debut week. As the post points out, this naturally means it set a God of War franchise record as well. The figure presumably includes both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 copies, as well as physical and digital sales, but several games spread across two platforms have come and gone before it without hitting such a record. Congratulations to @Sony Santa Monica for making God of War Ragnarok the fastest selling first party game in PlayStation history. In comparison, God of War 2018 passed 23 million copies sold on PlayStation 4 and PC as of November 2022. Back in October 2021, it was reported that the game sold 19.5 million copies, but its launch on PC pushed it to a new audience. It was also Sony's biggest launch on PC to date, and it's certainly possible that Sony could bring God of War Ragnarok to PC and boost its sales there as well.
And they've kind of hinted towards that as well, where, Herman Hulse, I think, back in October, was just like, yeah, we're going to bring PS5 games to PC. And I know that probably hurt the fanboys, but it just totally makes sense. It's
they say it right there. Launch on PC, push 2018 to a new audience. That's the whole point.
It's the whole point. They gotta get more milk out of this cow somehow. And, what Herman Hulse alluded to is it's like, yeah, the PS5 games, you'll see them on PC. You'll see more PlayStation games on PC, which we've seen, right? Miles Morales came out just last week to PC. So, this is going to happen. And I think the sales of this are incredibly impressive. I also think the split between PS4 and PS5 box sales is something, though, to talk about. Because it's like a 20-80 split, Kyle. The game is dominantly being bought on PlayStation 5, which has to then beg the question, can we let go of the PlayStation 4 now, please, for the love of God?
I would hope so, even though it doesn't bother me as much as others, but it very clearly is not as much of a necessity as I feel like they think it might be.
Yeah, I
think people are willing to hold off for PS5 versions.
Yeah. And that gives me the thought of like, hopefully this means that we get to see that true next gen jump. I saw a bit of
Ratchet.
It with Ratchet, right?
Yeah.
And with Returnal. Tech's getting there on the PC end. So I'm thinking, yeah, now's the time we can, I feel like a lot of people are a little jaded this generation on both sides when it comes to where's the title that's going to show me next gen? You guys told me there was no hidden loading screens, no elevators. And listen, say what you will about Ragnarok, and I think it's amazing as well, but like, there's definitely a few elevators. There's definitely a few hidden loading screens on PlayStation 5 that we know shouldn't be there, but are there because it needs to be crafted for PS4 version. Example being, one of the devs came out on Horizon Forbidden West when they're talking about the water physics on Twitter.
Oh my God, yeah.
How difficult that was because we also had to get this thing running on a PS4.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think at this point, I do think the PS4 is hindering what these next-gen consoles can do in terms of really pushing the boundaries. Because I think we're kind of getting sick of playing games at, like 4K 30, that quality versus performance mode thing. Though I love the performance mode in God of War, I think we want to see these things unchained from, its predecessors.
Absolutely. Yeah. I will say that this 5.1 million... Also, I don't know if it was in the article we just read. It's sold through.
Yeah.
So that just means to the stores, right? And the vendors.
Yeah.
So not all 5.1 million copies were sold.
All gone. But we can assume. That being said,
it was pretty close to my 6 million prediction.
Honest to God, dude, that is.
And you were like,
insane.
Kyle, you're nuts.
And when I saw these numbers, I was like, Kyle's a madman, but I think he's right. To think that this game beat out Spider-Man was a thing that truly wowed me.
Because Spider-Man, everyone knows Spider-Man. Not everyone knows Kratos and God of War.
And just to see how epic the push was for this game in the middle of the holiday season. And seeing also the high completion rates of this game as well. Is
a quarter of people have beaten it in 2 weeks.
That's wild. I can't wait to see where the platinum rate is for this game. I think of Elden Ring. Elden Ring's known as to be this hard, difficult game. 11% of people have that plat. I want to see where God of War is at the end of this year.
Yeah. There's some tough boss battles you got to do to get that plat.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
Those berserkers could go eat my because they suck. I hate you.
Especially the other one-off boss as well.
Oh yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. Son of a gun. But congratulations, Santa Monica team. Yeah. Y'all did it.
That's awesome.
Y'all did the thing. This game is so in my head. It's doing the same thing Elden Ring did, which is like, oh, it's gonna ruin games for a month for me. I can't play.
Yeah,
I can't play anything else. It's
like I said, I hop back into Horizon. I'm loving it. But it's that same thing of where like I have to relearn the controls.
Yeah.
And I'm doing things that I would do in God of War. And I'm like, man, I'm missing Atreus.
Yep.
My little buddy going
missing
around
Brock,
me right now.
Sindri.
Yeah.
Giving me little quips, maybe helping me a little bit too much on a puzzle. I just have Aloy muttering to herself about her stash. Makes me miss it. Makes me miss it what I have. But no, honestly, great job for this game. I also wonder where Horizon's at, sales-wise, because they seem pretty silent on it. But it's selling well
should come out
NPDs.
By the time of next week, even though sadly this is the last news episode of the year, so you'll never know.
All right, Kyle, it is time to eat our vegetables with this next story, and I implore Sean Capri to not fast forward. Go for it, Kyle. Let's do it. Close it out.
Microsoft and Sony might have worked out a deal for Call of Duty, aka they put a ring on it. Samuel Tolbert from Windows Central writes, the latest report comes from Seeking Alpha, which reports that Microsoft and Sony recently held meetings to discuss terms and provide assurances. I'm sorry. I don't know why I read that sentence. Recently held meetings. Why am I thinking of Tribes and Horizon coming together with like their clans next to them, just debating over Call of Duty in the middle
off their Razorbacks?
Oh, exactly. They recently held meetings to discuss terms and provide assurances that after the deal closes, Microsoft will, quote, allow Activision's games to be played on the PlayStation console, end quote. This deal, valued at almost $69 billion, is the largest acquisition in video game history and would see Microsoft add Activision Publishing, Blizzard Entertainment, and King to the existing Xbox first-party publishers of Xbox Game Studios and Bethesda Softworks. Sony has repeatedly pushed back against the deal, with Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan stating that Microsoft's initial 3-year offer for Call of Duty remaining on PlayStation was quote-unquote inadequate. While Sony has argued Microsoft will be able to raise prices on Xbox games, Xbox consoles, and Xbox Game Pass once the deal closes. Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard is currently undergoing regulatory review in multiple countries, including the FTC in the US, the CMA in the UK, and the European Commission in the EU. The deal has so far been approved without restrictions by Saudi Arabia, Brazil, and Serbia. Prior to this latest update, Microsoft reportedly offered Sony 10 years of Call of Duty as a concession to the European Commission in order to get approval for the deal. Another report recently indicated the FTC is quote-unquote likely to block the deal, though it's also possible the regulator is preparing a lawsuit as part of a move to seek concessions. The news report indicates that an FTC decision can be expected by January 2023. It's worth emphasizing this is just a report, and how much of a roller coaster this story has been for the past several months. We'll have to wait and see just how everything pans out.
All right, Kyle, real talk. What are the odds in January we come back, we're talking about this?
Joe, we're going to be talking about this until we're 60 years old. There's going to be a new Jim and a new Phil.
They say in Costa Rica it's about to pass. Yeah.
Oh my God. As boring as this is to me and ridiculous that we're just keep talking about it.
Sure.
Every single time there's a little wrinkle like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Like Microsoft will quote unquote allow Activision's games to be played on the console, not just Call of Duty, just all of Activision's games.
I mean, and that's where like reports, right? These are reports we don't know for certain.
Yeah, not for certain, but like even that, it was so focused on Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And now I guess the battle in the business boardroom
is much with bigger all their scope.
Exactly. They're battling for more than just Call of Duty.
So, okay. This is where I think most podcasts, creators, influencers, whatever you want to talk about, I think we've been covering it through the wrong angle, right? We're talking about like Call of Duty as this entity, and I want to end this conversation with a little bit of a TED Talk, if you'd like, Kyle.
Oh boy,
and we could close it out there.
Strap in.
We're doing it. All right.
Welcome to my TED Talk.
That's right. And I talked about this on a few podcasts, Player One podcasts in particular, where I said, and I want to clarify what I mean by this, is this is a bit of an existential crisis for all three companies involved.
What a callback.
I know, right? Look at me, Tarantino'd it. And it's existential for each one. And that's the last time I'm going to use this word. I make no promise.
Existential?
No, someone really needs like, if I hear it one more time, I'm going to flip.
Well,
it's an issue.
They've only heard it correctly from me. I'm sorry. You're saying it wrong.
I get it. I got it. The thing. All right.
I know.
It's an issue. You're making fun of my list, but I don't like it. I have to think extra when I talk. How dare you? But it's a problem for Sony because of this. They're thinking it through the lens of, I have shareholders, and my shareholders, when we heard this news, got so sheepish that our stock bombed because they didn't think that we can go toe to toe with Microsoft in an acquisition like this. And we've heard it also from the horse's mouth that, experts in the room going, yeah, no, Microsoft cannot. I think even Microsoft themselves said PlayStation cannot make the acquisitions at this scale that we can. So Jim Ryan has this obligation to its shareholders to fight it in such a way that they protect what's important to them. We say that, oh, well, they could get weird and they could do other things, and that's right. But this is also a thing that prints billions of dollars for PlayStation as well. And losing that revenue would be huge for the brand. And you've seen people like Google exit out of the industry for smaller issues, not just a floundering launch, but they saw that Bethesda acquisition going, oh, we weren't planning on doing stuff like that, so we're out of here. So Sony has an obligation to fight this thing because this does have a big impact on their overall business. It's a big deal for Microsoft because if this thing goes through, well, it kind of throws a whole wrench in the plan of how they were planning to acquire publishers in order to make all this content to service Game Pass. And if they're blocked here, it doesn't mean they now have a blank check of $70 billion you spent somewhere else. That means now they got to reevaluate how they can, or if they can, or should they spend that money, which means Game Pass and Xbox's pure marketing and how they run their business is going to have to change. They don't just have a blank check to go, okay, well, we could do with Activision, we'll go with EA. It doesn't work like that. So now we get to ABK. Right, Activision Blizzard King. And it is a problem for them because they're looking at it through the lens of our company's existence kind of banks on this. Our pipelines are in such disarray because of the global panorama of which we lived that we need that Microsoft funding to get those pipelines cleared and to get us and get these teams working on different projects, not just banking the whole entire cow on Call of Duty. So that's why this is such a big situation for all three of them. And that's why Microsoft, you've seen them go this kind of, oh yeah, well, what gave them an extra 3 years to, well, competition's competition, right? Where this is competition, and to now, hey, listen, we'll give you 10 years, which is unheard of. So everybody's a bit panicked. This does mean a lot for these companies, and everybody that's tried to tell you one thing or the other has been wrong. No matter who they are, they've been wrong. So, though we believe this thing should go through, Microsoft's now trying to make sure it's a sure bet because they're seeing governments come in and go, not exactly. Not exactly. So that's where I want to kind of end you guys off on this whole big epic, and hopefully through a different perspective that we can kind of see the chessboard, I think, a little bit clearer. And that's been my TED Talk. Kyle, any thoughts, comments, concerns, or you want to tell me to shut my mouth?
I would like to add a new prediction for the Game Awards next week.
Please.
Do you remember a few years ago, we had that iconic moment of Sean Layden, Reggie, and Phil Spencer on stage?
Yes.
They're all talking about, celebrating games and not essentially trying to stop the fanboyism.
Okay, we're all up here with our blazers and our t-shirts.
Yeah, exactly. We're just to celebrate the games that we love and making them. Next week, we're going to get Jim Ryan and Phil on stage, and they're going to shake hands, and they're going to sign the documents. And
on stage.
Right there. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
For Call of Duty for exactly 7.5 years, and we get Warzone on the weekends.
It's a straight up divorce is what you're telling me.
1000%.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah. I thought you were gonna go with it's the Red Wedding scenario.
Oh no.
You have the Reigns of Casimir playing in the back. Jim's like, well, I think I've heard this is somewhat familiar.
Kojima will be there to simmer everything down.
And like Phil shakes his hands like Lannister send their regards. And Jim's like, what? All right, that's it. That's enough. Whew. Now kiss. PlayStation, Xbox, kiss.
Yeah. Put a ring on it. Get it over with.
Get a room. You love birds. This will they, won't they, Jim and Pam scenario that you guys gotten yourselves into. Figure it out.
Oh.
I got Canadian. I got Canadian at the end.
Joe's ready for Boxing Day.
That's right. I don't know what that is. I think we're just going to have to fight.
I think it's the day after Christmas.
That's why I think they get all their steam out and they just start punching.
Exactly.
They should, yeah.
They celebrate love, family, like everyone else.
Get the boxing
Christmas.
Gloves on.
The day after, it's the purge.
Exactly.
They're just out punching everybody and everything.
Instead,
bam!
Instead of the alarm, it's like a day to remember. It's like, disrespect your surroundings. And you just see everybody just start tussling.
Grandma, move faster on the sidewalk or I swear.
Come at me, you little shit. Give Nana the best you got.
She has boxing gloves on each foot of the walker, and it's just hitting them with the walker.
I was at D-Day. Yeah, that type of stuff. Let's talk about The Witcher. What are we doing here?
Let's talk about it. Robert Ramsey over at Push Square writes, The Witcher 3 PS5, everything new and all improvements in the next gen. What's new in The Witcher 3 PS5? The next gen update for CD Projekt Red's open world RPG boasts a range of improvements and additions over 5 whole years after the original game's release. The developer has brought some highly requested feature to the upgrade, which boasts graphical boosts, gameplay modifications, and more. And as far as new content goes, a new quest is based on the Witcher Netflix show, a new optional appearance for Dandelion based on the Witcher Netflix show, a new armor set, weapons, and items for Geralt based on the Witcher Netflix show, a new optional armor design for Nilfgaardian soldiers based on the Witcher Netflix show, a fully integrated photo mode complete with editing tools and filters. Graphics-wise, higher resolution textures throughout the game, improved character models, improved environmental assets, more varied NPC, non-playable. I like how they had to say what an NPC is. Non-playable character models, especially in cutscenes. 30 FPS quality mode, which has ray tracing support, and 60 FPS performance mode. Better draw distance, more foliage, denser grasses, improved lighting effects and illumination. Additional and more varied weather conditions like fog. Gameplay adjustments, numerous balancing, camera options, etc. And as far as other, full cross save and cross progression support for all platforms, full DualSense controller support with haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. Subtitles can now be scaled, improved localization for other languages, and trophies still suck.
Yeah.
The Witcher 3 on PS5 will have its own separate trophy list from the PS4 version, although the trophies themselves are the same. Trophies that you have already earned in the PS4 version will not automatically unlock if you transfer your save. You'll have to earn them again on PS5 by starting a new game.
So, real talk, I want to just talk about a tragedy that happened. I was about to beat Cyberpunk. I wanted to go for the platinum in Cyberpunk. I had an issue with my PlayStation 5 where I had to wipe the PlayStation 5. And I lost all my saves. I went to the cloud save, and God denied me. And I had to start all over from the beginning in Cyberpunk, and I don't know if I can. So I hurt. So when I hear cross progression, cross support on all platforms, this makes me happy, but I also hurt. Kyle, listen, the holiday break's approaching. I have a feeling
that's this is gonna be a long running joke on the show that we don't do anymore.
What's that?
I feel the cross saves being gone. Andrew House did it.
Yeah, I bet he did.
He did it. He had enough.
That's right. This is what happens when you break into my sanctuary. What a good shtick that was, Kyle.
Yeah.
The holiday, they're approaching. Okay.
Yeah.
You got the Chanukah, you got the Christmas, and you got the Kwanzaa.
The what now?
The Chanukah.
Oh, okay.
Hanukkah, you can spell it with a CH. And I remember one of my teachers, she got very offended that I called it Hanukkah. She yelled at me. She's like, it's Chanukah.
Oh my God.
And I'll never forget that.
Wow. All right.
This is Roadhouse. I hated you. So you got the Christmas, you got the Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of celebrations.
Yeah.
Are you going to be sitting down with this next gen patch update? Maybe could you even consider this a remaster?
There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would consider this a full on remaster.
Yeah, right. It's like they're improving so much of it.
It's old enough. and they're adding so many things. Like, they very briefly talk about like the camera options. You can play this game like over the shoulder, third person, kind of similar to like Last of Us.
Yeah.
And God of War Ragnarok, like very close.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty damn cool. Also, like, to get these new armors and stuff, they don't just give it to you. You have to do a quest for them.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Instead of just giving you these things, you have to actually go out and do the things.
Yep.
I am excited because I've heard many great things about this game. What little I've played, 8-10 hours or so, I did enjoy my time, but I was waiting for a next gen version because I played it pretty late. So I'm in. I don't know if it's like this December in, but I am excited to play it eventually.
I have become a CD Projekt Red stan.
Yeah.
So I'm in. Like, I cannot wait. I am super excited. Once I'm done with Callisto, I am waiting for this game. So I'm 110% in on this game. Maybe I'll even stream it. Maybe I'll get like freaking crazy about it. But there you go, Witcher dorks. I just insult you. You got it. This is yours. Blood and wine, all of it. It just sucks that the trophy list is still going to suck. Like, that trophy list is too hard. You got to play out on the hardest difficulty. That's too much commitment for me, man. I'm out.
Oh, yeah.
You know, trophies should be about the journey, not about how hard I could beat you in the shins. So, yeah.
For sure.
All right, Kyle, talking about easy platinums, shovelware, duty garbage. Let's talk about the next report here.
Zarmena Khan over at PS Lifestyle writes, report PS Store's easy platinum games and shovelware being banned. A new report claims that Sony is gearing up to ban PS Store easy platinum games and shovelware, which have been plaguing the new releases section and bearing legitimate games. The issue was first highlighted earlier this year when Press X for Trophies games flooded the PS Store, causing a headache not just for players browsing the store, but also for smaller developers who found themselves struggling for visibility. Sony reportedly issued a warning letter against PS Store's easy platinum games. According to gaming website dex.exe, Sony sent out a dev letter sometime this month warning against spam or repetitive content. The games in question are all copycat games that often even reuse the same assets. Quote, SIE strives to ensure that customers can search and discover the full breadth of experiences on PlayStation, and that partners have a fair means of being discovered, end quote. The letter reads, when partners oversaturate or spam PlayStation Store with many variants of the same type of content, it can negatively impact both the customer and partner experience.
Yeah, the hell it can. I tried to go on the indie sales, Kyle. I wanted just to check out some indies. And the flood of like Super Jump, Ultra Jump, Super Ultra Mega Jump games are just, it's so much. It's too much. And I'm so happy to see PlayStation go, okay, listen, we're either just going to deny this content or we're just going to shadow ban it because we can't, we don't want this garbage. And I'm just going to say it, garbage flooding these stores. We don't want it to be like a Steam store where it's a whole bunch of garbage every day. And the only way you break through is that you have a quote unquote sale, to promote your game. That's what Steam games have to do in order just to get out there, because this is so much garbage. So Kevin Ainsworth writes in, he goes, hey guys, PlayStation Store is saved. And I gotta know from our resident Easy Platinum King, how are you feeling, Kyle? No longer shall we be plagued with jump food item asset flips. Kyle, how you feeling? Because you're an Easy Plat, connoisseur.
Yeah, I'm a connoisseur, but I am not. It doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Like, I'm not sad at all because while I do enjoy a good hour of just like mindless trophy getting, I can also agree that it has been getting a little out of control.
Sure.
Of like the jumping chicken, and then the jumping chicken turbo, and then the jumping chicken turbo DX Fast and Furious Vin Diesel mode. Like it's a little out of control, and so I completely can acknowledge that. And
I'm thinking of the group of Vin Diesel impersonators going family, family, and you're just pressing X and they're just saying family.
Absolutely. So I while I am happy this is happening, I I am going to be a little bit bummed just grabbing a bunch and getting some platinums for that easy high,
Dopamine.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How else will now you get your fix? Sniff and glue, huff and paint? What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just going to have to buy them all before they go. Kyle, why did you take out a $50,000 loan from the bank? Don't worry
about it. I have a problem. It's my strange addiction.
Play. Exactly.
Captain Logan writes in, if Sony is looking to address easy platinums in games out there, does this mean that they will finally stop offering free next-gen versions of games that you've already platinumed? Hey, how about this, Captain Logan? You shut your beautiful mouth before I give it a little kiss.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah, knock it off.
You Captain already Logan, earned the platinum.
Captain Logan, he likes to get under my skin. He likes to be a little cheeky. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I saw the picture with you and your wife. You're a very lucky man. So always remember that. Okay. But I also got some charm as well. All right.
That was quite the threat.
I know it was. No, honestly, like I don't have a problem with those trophies all too much. Because to me they're free. I've already bought the game for the most part. So like those I'm fine
and
with.
You earned it.
Yeah. And to me, it's you're not seeing like a director's cut every other day, or like sometimes we're in the drop and it's like, oh my god, there's more of these in actual games.
Sure,
that's an issue. So I'm really happy that PlayStation's stamping down on this. But another part of me is like, I do like the easy plat. Ooh, I hit my mic. Sorry. I do like the easy plat when it is about like the symbolic platinum. Like I will be getting an easy plat to symbolically platinum Cyberpunk because
to fill the void
because I've already played that game 3 times over, and so it's just like I don't know if I'm going back to it anytime soon, but I do love this game. This platinum is symbolic for it, you know, because I'm a weirdo like that, so I'll miss it for that reason. But to me, I'm good that overall this getting clapped out so that I can really just get to actual indie games. All right, Kyle, it is time for the last time this year. So flash news, ready? Gotta go fast, gotta run. Oh shit. 2023 is right around the corner. What next horrifying thing's gonna happen? Who knows? Okay.
Please no.
December PlayStation Essential monthly games are here. Kyle, have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
I did. It's a good month.
It's a really good month. Mass Effect Legendary Edition on PlayStation 4. You get Mass Effect 1 Remastered. You get Mass Effect 2. You get Mass Effect 3.
You get the DLC too, right?
You literally get, I don't know about that. Yes,
I think they're included in everything.
Yeah. You get literally what is arguably the best RPG trilogy, at least sci-fi, ever this month. Nuts. You get Biomutant, say what you will, PS5, PS4. Divine Knockout on PS5 and PS4.
Which was just announced today, right?
Yeah.
It's like a brand new game in the month, which I wish they did more of.
So, Kyle, what are your thoughts on this month, man? I think this is arguably one of their best months. And I feel like we say that every like quarter. Like, there's a lot here.
Sure, we do. But like I'm excited about this one. I mean, I already own Mass Effect, but it's cool for people to get that there. That's a massive value. I am genuinely curious about Biomutant.
Okay.
And I mean, obviously, you know, a friend of the show, Ains, loves that game.
A little bit too much, but yeah.
So, like, it's cool that it's here and it's being available for people to check it out.
Yeah.
Because you see the cover of that game, you're like, oh, that's cool. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And now you have no excuse to just download it and try it out.
Well,
Divine Knockout, all I know is it was announced. I haven't seen anything of it.
Yeah.
But again, I love a new, smaller game being put on a big stage with one best game franchise of all time. I won't say middling, but like a really cool, brand new, fresh IP. Yeah. And a cool little indie game.
Yeah. Now, this is made by Hi-Rez, and it looks like, think about Super Smash Brothers, but if it was a 3D plane instead of a 2D game, or sorry, a 2D plane, and it's practically, you know, Smite Gods. because it's like the Smite art style, but cutesified, because this is a high res game at the end of the day. So I'll actually try this out because high res makes some cool little neat like AA stuff. So
sure, yeah,
really awesome stuff. Okay, Kyle. God, honestly, it was either this was gonna be part of the main news. But then the Activision Blizzard thing happened, broke. And now this is Flash news.
Wait. The good Lord, you're telling me for weeks we could have put the Activision stuff in the Flash quick news?
Could have.
And you're forcing me to talk about it every week?
Absolutely, because I want you to live a little bit of your hell, a little bit. Spanish theme park announces a new ride based on Uncharted. Wait for it. I'm not kidding you. The Uncharted movie.
Yeah.
This comes from Stephen Talby over at Push Square. Uncharted, as in the movie adaptation starring Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, is getting its own ride. Yes, the somewhat divisive film will soon be converted into a theme park attraction in which you'll be able to feel the same thrills as Nathan Drake himself, asterisk. Well, we assume. The Spanish entertainment resort Port Aventura World made the announcement today on social media. Quote, there are no details. Oh, sorry, not quote. There's no details on the ride itself, only that it's set to open in 2023. It makes sense in some ways because Uncharted ride in particular, the destination, as much as the movie is set and shot in Spain or España. It also speaks to the success of the movie that is going ahead. The flick didn't land very well critically, but viewers didn't necessarily agree. Despite its mixed reception, it became one of the highest grossing video game adaptations ever. So there you go. Soon there will be a ride based on the movie, based on the games.
Awesome.
Kyle? You're getting... So, okay, you got Galaxy's Edge, right?
Yeah.
You got the Pandora world. Yeah. You got the Harry Potter world, right? You're gonna get a literal Mushroom Kingdom in Universal. MCU campus.
Yep.
Uncharted ride in Port Aventura.
Yeah, this is literally the Michael Scott quoting Wayne Gretzky as himself quote the ride. It's literally what it is, and I'm so here for it.
Oh, God. That's such a good one.
I'm excited for this because I think the ride would be cool, even though I don't do roller coasters.
Sure.
Like, you gotta imagine it's the end, like, flying ship thing, right?
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
Probably what they're going to try to bring out. It's cool. Uncharted is a thrill-seeking game, a thrill-seeking IP. I'm shocked we didn't have an Uncharted ride before this.
Yeah, but maybe
it is weird that they're going for movie Uncharted.
And I'm not like I didn't hate the movie. In fact, actually,
I love the movie.
Yeah, like I thought the movie was fine. And like
it's not going to win any Oscars. People need to stop holding up to that kind of expectation.
Let's relax. But like actually, I was talking to my friend Amy the other day. She's like, "Can we watch the Uncharted movie again?" For reasons. And I'm like, all right, you little pervert. Watch it for Tom Holland, you little freak. So like, it just feels weird that it's not the games. Because it really is the jet ski quote, for sure.
Do you think it's an actual roller coaster or it's going to be like Star Tours? Where it's like you're in a simulated car with a screen?
I'm really thinking it's like Six Flags Great Adventure. The Superman ride. You're not going to get like, hey guys, it's me, Nathan Drake on the screen.
It's Mark Wahlberg.
I'm going to spray mist at your face. No, it's like a roller coaster. It's just so weird. Really weird.
So, patrons, support us so we can go to Spain.
That's right.
2023. Let's ride this ride.
I would not waste your money on that, Gil. Sony assigned over 150 employees to aid in Callisto Protocol productions to aid in the... you done guffed on this one. You done guffed. To aid in Callisto Protocol's production. This comes from Sammy Barker over at Push Square. We already know that Sony contributed to the development of Callisto Protocol, but the extent that it supports may surprise you. Image of credits posted on Reset Era reveal that over 100 employees from the platform holders visual arts support group and Malaysia team aided development in striking distance studios on the project. PlayStation often offers support in creation of third-party titles by loaning out its state-of-the-art motion capture studios and assisting on things like audio mixing and cinematics. But it looks like one of the biggest assignments on a non-first-party game to date, with the aforementioned 150 employees credited to contributing to the title. Sony does have marketing rights to the release, but it hasn't signed it as a timed exclusive, so it'll launch on major systems later this week. Of course, it will be been paid for its assistance, and based on what we've played of Callisto Protocol so far, you can see how PlayStation support has elevated the entire experience. The cinematics are specifically stunning.
Oh, Sammy, you're right in the line there.
Sammy, you just rode the line, but I feel like I got you in trouble, and I apologize. But like, you done got yourself got, so I need you to. Yikes! Oh no. Well, that's on our fantasy league, so give me a little bit more. No,
This is exciting because people were up in arms earlier, either this year or last year, when they found out like Crystal Dynamics was helping out on Project Dark.
Great example.
Perfect Dark, excuse me. So like this happens. It's a thing that happens, and I'm okay with this. I like this. Yeah. It also gives me that thought of like, well, PlayStation absolutely sees something in striking distance and Callisto Protocol to maybe build that relationship to a point in the future that they could maybe bring it under their wing.
Yeah, I don't know if they're owned by Krafton, which is the PUBG
that
crew.
is totally, I keep forgetting that it is that.
Honestly, I love what you said there, because I didn't even think about it, of Crystal D working on Perfect Dark. And I think to go back to what you were saying there, this happens. It happens all the time. Like Ghost of Tsushima devs, they were working on, The Last of Us, for example, right? So like dev teams help each other out. It's normal. It happens. And, seeing, PlayStation support teams come in to support their partner, it reminds me of a conversation I was having with Luke Snore. Luke Lore of the Xbox Expansion Pass, who his mother and I are currently dating.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We make love passionately. Anyway, our weird friendship aside, and soon to be son-in-law was telling me that, there's one thing about PlayStation that you can't argue. They know how to craft relationships with studios, publishers, and developers. And this is how you build that trust. Because you're right, like, this is a studio, again, I am assuming here, I'm built off assumptions, that they're owned by Krafton, and they are helping that publisher out by coming in and supporting this game. And they have really nothing to, not to say gain from it, but this is coming out on Xbox as well. But you're seeing Sony come in and go, hey, we're treating you like we treat our first-party studios. This game is as important to us as it is to you. And what better feeling is that when you're crafting a relationship? And so...
And you are correct. It is owned by Krafton.
Yeah, so I'm assuming next game that comes out, Callisto 2, whatever have you, those folks over at Krafton, they're going to remember that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Companies aren't just going to forget that. So I do think that this builds an excellent rapport with publishers that we don't get to see publicly out there in the open. So this is awesome. And yeah, the running space that happen, everybody does that. So I didn't expect too much there, but yeah, awesome. This is great.
And like you mentioned, this happens, and I'm glad that the veil is kind of lifting and everyone can see like it's more normal than you think. So, hey, fanboys, shut the F up. You know what I'm saying? Relax.
Yeah, you ruin everything for everyone. You suck.
You really do.
So, Kyle, that said, that all out of the way, it's time for the last time in 2022 to possibly fall down into something. Are you holding on to something?
Let me put my
please
inauspicious ring on it that no one will know anything about unless you played Ragnarok.
Prepare the drop. Here are the latest deals, and games coming to the PlayStation storefront. On the 29th of November, the Backpack Twins on PS4. Charlie and the Roach on PS5. I think that's just a stoner game.
Is that Papa Roach the sequel?
Oh, no. Cut my life into pieces. Okay. Last Days of Lazarus on PS5. A Monster Truck Journey on PS5, PS4. Sable, I heard it's pretty chill on PS5. Soccer Story on PS5, PS4. Solstice on PS5, PS4. Speed Gunner Ultra on PS4. And on November 30th, we have Astronaut, PS5, PS4, Flat Out Pixel Racing on PS5, Gundam Evolution, that's the Overwatch Gundam game, on PS5, PS4, Megalon on PS5, PS4, Sword of the Vagrant on PS5, PS4, The Beast Inside on PS5, The Outbound Ghost, ooh, spooky, on PS5, PS4, Unite Ultra Battle of the Bulge, okay, oh, United Assault, what did I say, on PS4, Until the Last Plane on PS5, PS4, Watch Over Christmas on PS4.
What is that?
I don't know. That sounds like an easy plat game. It's like you're trying to stop Santa from boning your mom, and you got to press, cross a lot to stop.
I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus.
Exactly. On December 1st, River City Girls 1 and 2 on PS5, PS4. Romancing Saga Minstrel Song Remastered on PS5, PS4. And on December 2nd, here we go, boys. Marvel Midnight Suns on PS5, PS4. Need for Speed Unbound on PS5, PS4. The Callisto Protocol on PS5, PS4. The Night Witch on PS5, PS4. And The Outbound Ghost yet again on PS5.
What a day of releases.
Dude, Night Witch looks great.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cute little platformer.
Outbound Ghost also looks pretty cool.
Yep.
That's a stacked day.
And real talk, Need for Speed Unbound's getting some positive praise from people that I surround
It looks cool.
It looks really cool. It looks really unique. Marvel's Midnight Suns getting some pretty darn glowing reviews. Sits at an OpenCritic of 83 right now. Some of my favorite reviewers, like Skilled Up, recommend it. It's not the strongest recommendation, but it is something that I'm actually thinking I'm gonna pick this up on Friday.
Sweet.
And of course, I'm picking up Callisto Protocol on PS5, PS4.
Yeah, absolutely. So two things. Watch Over Christmas. Santa has been kidnapped and holidays are at stake. Watch Over Christmas is a unique Christmassy game that tells the story of a 12-year-old boy, Cisco, who is called upon to save everyone's most beloved holiday, believe in the magic, and save Santa. It is a point-and-click adventure.
All right. So
also, Joe, you know what? If people are watching the video version, there comes a point during this while you were reading the releases.
Yeah.
I had a huge smile come across my face.
What's that?
You want to know why? Because I had this realization of something.
Okay.
When it comes to our Fantasy Critic League, with the Xbox Drive, I don't know if you remember this or if Sean and Ryan remember this, but games that are released, I am. The games that are released internationally first, are ineligible because their scores, it's already out before it comes to North America. I don't think those scores count. So the fact that River City Girls 2 is coming out on December 1st in Japan, I think that makes it ineligible for their team. I'm pretty sure that's how the rules work.
Oh my God. Is this the mail-in ballots that we were hoping for on this fantasy league?
Possibly.
We need to add them. We need to add them on Twitter.
I'm going to
get to the bottom
double
of this.
check because I know you couldn't draft the game if it released internationally first. I'm gonna check. I could totally be wrong. I could just be making that up right now.
Because that's interesting. Because there are, from what I understand, I think maybe I saw one Japanese site on OpenCritic. So that is interesting. Oh, Sean is livid right now.
If it has a score elsewhere, right? Like let's say they didn't have that game yet, right? Because it doesn't have a date, and then they see it comes out in Japan and it does well, then they could put a bid in and get it for cheap.
But they already have it though. That's the thing.
What I'm saying is, hypothetically, if they didn't and that game was still a free agent and it comes out in Japan, it gets some scores, and they're like, oh, before it comes over here, let me add it to my team. I don't think that's allowed.
That's not allowed.
So
I hear that?
I think it makes it ineligible.
Oh,
I'm gonna log in real quick and look at the rules.
Yeah, log in. Take a gander of those rules.
Yeah.
Please take a gander. Audience, just know how much I'm the shit eating grin that's on my face right now. I'm just, it's all full of ghee. Like, I'm like, ooh, we got him. You know.
Okay.
Oh, I'd be pissed.
Well, okay. Here we go.
Okay, let's see.
Eligibility settings. These options let you choose what games are available in your league. These settings can be overwritten on a game-by-game basis, and I recommend you lean towards being more restrictive and allow blah, blah, blah. All games have a number of tags associated with them. If you place a tag in the banned column, any game with that tag will not be selectable. And underneath banned tags is released internationally.
Oh, no. Sean's going to be very upset.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
We allowed
it.
We allowed will release internationally first. So I take back all that shit eating grin I was just doing.
So, Sean?
He's still good, but hey, we word you there for a couple minutes.
We had you alarmed.
Erase the tweets, Sean. Erase the tweets.
Yeah. I still think we're going to win. And also just think about how many, honestly, God, chances that we've given them. Like, I even said it. They should have won this, and it wasn't even close. They had Elden Ring, for God's sakes. And to think that we came back so aggressively, like, and again, we have a very good chance of winning by about 5 points still. I'd be really embarrassed. Yeah. I don't know how I would talk to my wife, like, you know, like a man. I came home and I lost by 5 points. Again, so how much pity that we've given them, I think it speaks volumes. Okay, back to the show and not us pouring salt on an open wound. Also, I will say this is wound. I said wound, oh boy. You know, I want to just get this off my chest here right now. Ready for this, Kyle?
Hold on, I'm recovering from open womb. Hold on.
My lips didn't move right in the moment.
All right, go ahead.
I guess I'm thinking about Sean's womb. Now I lost it. Damn it. Oh,
I'm sorry.
No matter what, I will not concede. Okay, ready for this, Kyle?
Okay.
And I will not concede with grace. It's time for our favorite segment of the night. It's time for the Sony Pony Express.
Yeah.
Listen, we still have 4 more of those because we're still going to take, you know,
we have many more of those. That's not going anywhere.
That ain't going anywhere anytime soon. Don't worry. We strive on your community.
The only Sony ponies that are allowed is this segment.
That's right. Bowser writes in. Welcome, Bowser, and welcome to the Patreon as well.
It's great meeting you at Extra Life.
Absolutely, it was. And she beat me in Fall Guys, and maybe she cheated. I can't prove it, but I can't prove that she didn't. How are you liking the PlayStation Stars program? Are you finding the campaigns easy to do? Are most of the games on PlayStation Plus Extra? I'm very entrenched in MS rewards, and I can easily get free games on Game Pass Ultimate if I keep up with it. I'm interested to see if I could do something similar with Stars.
So I am not familiar with Microsoft rewards. I've only been doing PlayStation Stars. To me, it works when it wants to work.
Yep.
And I really hate that the campaigns, quote unquote, to get the coins, to get coupons or whatever, are tied to you buying games in the store.
Yeah. Now there are some that aren't like
sure,
the
but
remote play feature, but
I forgot to even attempt that one.
Yeah.
But they'll be like, hey, go play a fighting game. I don't own any fighting games. So what? I'm going to buy it, and then it's a little bit disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, in the points to, you know, cash ratio just isn't there, which again, it's a reward system, but yeah. I know that Microsoft rewards are way more flexible because it's like, hey, just please use Bing. Please Just type it in the search bar. It's all we're asking. You don't even have to search anything. Just type it in. We swear we're better, I think. I don't know. We get sad about it too. So like theirs is, you can get, I think, more opportunities to get cool stuff. So I don't think it's there yet, but I don't know. I'm a level 3, I think.
Same.
Yeah. I got a few
I got the cool Clank one.
Yeah, I got that one. You know, it's whelming.
Yeah.
Una writes in, "Hey there, guys. Hope you're both doing well. So Black Friday has passed, and with it comes new games for myself with Star Ocean, The Divine Force."
Ooh.
And in quotes, totally one reason for buying it is the Aaron Way voice actor is in it, and I have no shame. You know? No, I respect it. Okay?
No, absolutely.
No, you're good. Soul Hackers 2, and one other thing that gets into my question for this week is, what do you think are sleeper hits for PlayStation Plus Extra? I have finally upped my PlayStation Plus to Extra, and I'm wanting to know, what are the titles that get overlooked by the people on it for the more popular titles? So I throw the ball over to you guys. What do you think are the sleeper hits for PlayStation Plus Extra? Such a great question, Una, because I always kind of like wow myself a little bit. I was like, oh, that game's on PlayStation Plus. Oh, that game's on PlayStation Plus Extra. So, for me, I don't think about it too much because I feel like a good example of PlayStation Plus Extra is, I have a buddy, his name's Suddy. He just got a PlayStation 5, his first PlayStation since the PS2 era. And PlayStation Extra is it for him. Like, that's all he needs, because he's got, things like The Last of Us Remastered. He's going to be playing God of War 2018. Ghost of Tsushima is in there. Returnal. Like, there's so many great titles that he could jump into. As for me and an existing customer in the PlayStation ecosystem, I'm going to be quite honest. I don't think, first of all, premium is not there. But arguably, you don't even need extras either, because I don't think there's too many games that I haven't played on Extra that, I have the yearning to go back there again and
sure,
play. Like, I was actually I'm about to purchase Firewatch. I was like, is that on PlayStation Plus Extra? And I was surprised that it wasn't. Because you got little games like Journey's in there.
Yeah,
and I believe Last Campfire is also in there. So like, you got some like cool little indies. I would look at that indie tab, because I think it'll surprise some folks.
There's some great things, right? Like, all of the Kingdom Hearts are in the Extra tier now.
Yeah.
You got new games like The Medium and Deathloop are a part of that Extra tier. You got all the Assassin's Creed, Yakuza 5. I'm just looking at the list right now. Like, Stray is on there. Please play Stray.
Please.
FF7 Remake Intergrade is a part of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Control, Death Stranding, Demon Souls. There's a lot of really good things. Knack. Come on.
All right, let's relax.
But then, like, there's some like forgotten things. Like, This Is How I Played Matterfall.
Yeah.
Housemarque. Yeah. So you do have really cool like Outer Wilds. Heard great things. That's on Extra.
Yeah.
What Remains of Edith Finch on Extra.
Yeah.
So there are some good things there. I suggest just go in there and just browse. Like, don't search for a specific game. Just go through and see what's in there. Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff in there. Some really good stuff.
Katie writes in, "Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I'm doing fantastic. So Callisto Protocol is right around the corner, and I'm very tempted to pick it up, which is crazy. I'm not the best when it comes to horror. I last around an hour in Dead Space when I was younger, and yes, I will admit, I cried during one of the more gorier scenes in Prometheus last year. I played my first horror game, and that was Until Dawn, and I loved it. And now I'm finding myself looking forward to games such as Callisto Protocol and RE4 Remake. Ooh. So my question is for you guys, have you had a situation similar where a specific genre or game for the longest time just wasn't for you, and something changed that and made you jump in and give it a try? As always, I love you guys. Take care. Love you too, Katie.
Love you too, Katie.
Perfect example is Dead Space. Dead Space got me into the horror genre.
Yeah.
I am a scaredy cat like you, Katie. I yell in the TV. I'm just unapproachable, inconsolable.
I know what you meant, Joe, but you said I yell in the TV. I picture, I know, but I picture you getting up and going to the screen and yelling into it.
No, I do that. Yeah.
Stop it!
Stop it! Don't go there. What are you doing, stupid idiot? Yeah. So for me, Dead Space was the game that got me into survival horror. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't do any of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually think that's very relevant to our interests.
Yeah, and I honestly think horror is the answer to this for most people.
Yeah,
like you're so against it, and then something comes about, and it changes your mind. And for me, it was I think Resident Evil 2.
Yeah,
I think that was the one. Was that my first one?
Remake?
The remake.
Oh wow, yeah, I remember.
It all happened during the pandemic because I played 2 remake, I played 7, we played 4, I played Village.
Yeah,
like I really went in pretty hard to horror, and I'm like super excited for Callisto on Friday.
It's very funny. You went like COVID's like a deadly disease, and you're like, you know what?
Yeah,
I could do about another a game about a deadly disease that breaks society down to its basic parts.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll go platinum both Last of Us's in during this time. Yeah,
it's weird that Umbrella Labs is based in Wuhan. Like that's a little strange, but I'll go for it. Yeah,
that's fine.
That was a joke. Everybody clap. Have a giggle.
Yeah, Ari was my gateway, and now I'm very excited. I'm very excited for a remake.
Yeah, same. All right, last question of the night comes from Cowboy Danger D, aka Vantate Tatted.
Woo.
Writes in. Question for the Sony Pony Express. Yeehaw! Suck it, 2-star guy. That's him, not me. That's him.
I'll also say it. Suck it, 2-star guy.
You're beast with Kyle in Cowboy over here. Not with me.
Come at me.
I got a lot of people yelling at me. I don't need another one. All right. With Sony trying to branch out.
Don't give Joe any more existential crises.
That's right. Well, I said it right?
You put an extra N in there.
Blame my lisp. Okay. Expand their live service game library. What would you guys think of a live service Uncharted and Killzone multiplayer only coming back? I was a pretty big fan of Uncharted's multiplayer and would love to see it come back. I remember before Fortnite, it was the third-person shooter with all the emotes, costumes, and unlockables, and it was pretty darn fun. Killzone was a bit of a hit or miss, but I remember having fun with Killzone 2, and I know there was a fan base for it. So what do you guys think? Love y'all. Shiny side up.
Love you too. Shiny side up. Yeah, I love the Uncharted multiplayer.
Yeah, Uncharted multiplayer is actually surprisingly really good.
It's really fun. Yeah.
But Naughty Dog's already working on
The Last
whatever
of Us
they got from The Last of Us, and whatever lessons they've learned with the Uncharted multiplayer and with The Last of Us factions multiplayer, they're going to implement there. So
absolutely,
I think you're going to get that, but I think it's with The Last of Us. As for Killzone 2, that's what I think the second Guerrilla team's working on. I think they're going to revisit Killzone 2. And
the whole thing, like you're talking about a remake, or just
I'm
the
talking about the series, not two in particular, but
yeah. I gotcha.
I think the weapons there make for a really interesting spin on it if they choose to go that direction, or even like a Resistance where like the guns have different modes.
Please.
Yeah, I think that'd be really interesting. I think you could do it. PlayStation, don't be scared of making another first-person shooter. Go for it. Give it a shot. And it could play more like a, what am I thinking? Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six than a Call of Duty, right? You can make it more slow and tactical and all that jazz. There is a market there beyond Call of Duty. You don't have to make it go, it has to make $1 trillion type of mindset.
Yeah, don't be scared, Sony. You already made MAG. It's uphill from here.
Exactly. But yeah, I that's what I kind of want to see them do with their live services games, is kind of revisit some ideas they had multiplayer wise in the PS2 and PS3 generation, and throw those ideas into a dartboard that is now the PS5. Like, we keep hearing about Twisted Metal Mm-hmm. That's obviously a thing that's happening. And that's probably going to be like a free-to-play thing, right? Last of Us Factions. That's seemingly a multiplayer thing. So, or sorry, free-to-play thing. So I think they know the formula, or at least they have a view of the formula. They just got to practice with it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, Kyle, that's it. That's been the trophy room this week. Ooh-wee.
Oh man, no more news for the year. It's wild.
Ooh, thank goodness. I mean, technically, there will be news to break next week.
1,000. Yeah.
But yeah, this is it. And then, the next few weeks, we're going to have fun with some cool topic-like episodes. Change up the formula a little bit. It's going to be fun, We're going to get weird. So, yeah. And just FYI, again, we're not taking a break during the holiday season. We're still going to be recording these shows. Still expect them each and every Thursday. But, again, next week, expect it on Friday. So,
yeah.
Kyle, is there anything you'd like to spotlight before you'd like to get on out of here?
Sure.
I stuttered a lot this episode. Get on out of here.
You're totally fine. You're great, Joe, as always. I'd like to spotlight myself, Mr. KSF, on Twitter, Hive, all the things, PSN. Check out all the indie game coverage we're doing over at 61indie.com. That's SIXONEINDIE and 61indiecast, wherever you listen to podcast services. We're gearing up for our own Game of the Year awards as well over there. We're calling them the Pidgeys because our pigeon is our mascot. So look out for that. And also check out the last episode of Road to Ragnarok that I did with Kevin Diaz. It should be up, I think, today as well. I think it also goes up live on Thursday. So me and Kev go full spoiler cast mode for that as well. So check it out.
And you can find me over at Mr. Badbit on Twitter. You can find the show over at PS Trophy Room on Twitter. And you can find the show, The Trophy Room, a PlayStation Podcast, where you found it already, but you can find us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Google Play, wherever your podcast feed of choice is. You can find us there. Please rate us 5 stars. It really does help us out. Grows this big, beautiful community that we call home over here at the Trophy Room. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, everybody, keep your wits about you, keep hunting, and keep playing PlayStation. See you guys.
Bye. I love you very much.